Oh, I definitely think every member of this show has got a wild spring break story, but that's not what this is about.
If you had something happen on spring break that still your parents don't know about, that's why we want you to call us at 713-390-KRB. It's the Tree Trust. It's not the Tree Trust.
Yeah, we're in the nest.
Yeah, we have people calling in, and it could have happened last year. It could have happened last week.
Could have been 20 years ago. Yeah.
And
Right.
on line 2 happened 15 years ago.
Oh,
15 years ago, and her parents still don't know.
So she's been holding on to this for 15.
Ooh, and you're first. Hi, welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. What's your spring break secret?
Oh, man. Okay, so this hasn't come out of the vault since it happened.
Okay.
It's like a rate your secret, guys. We're going to rate this.
The Rate Your Secret /
Okay.
Spring Break Confession. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so I was in high school. It's probably 15 years ago or so. My parents were out of town for spring break, so I did what any high school kid would do. I threw a party.
Yeah.
So we had this family dog. His name was Hughie. Growing up, he was an Australian Shepherd mix, so he liked to jump the fence a lot. Like, that was his thing. We had this chain link fence. He'd jump, right? Well, I had this party, had a bunch of people over. The gate got left open for the backyard.
Oh, no.
And our dog Hughie got out. And then about 2 days later, we're looking for him, and we get a phone call from somebody that somebody had found him, and he had been hit by a car.
Oh,
My parents were like, how did he get out? What happened? I was like, oh, that crazy dog, he must have just jumped the fence. No, I left the gate open.
You don't sound really broken up about Huey's death.
Well,
Yeah.
15 years
It's been
later.
15 years later, but I mean,
at the time, you don't sound like you were broken up
so you
about
caused
it.
the death of your dog, and your parents never knew it was you.
No, never knew it was me. And at the time, I was absolutely heartbroken because Huey was my best friend.
Yeah.
But I've had about 15 years to, process it now, so...
What did your
But yeah.
parents, did they come home and the dog was missing?
Yeah,
Or-
they came home and they were like, where's Huey? And I was like, I don't know. He must have jumped the fence. He's always jumping the fence.
So
So that was kind of his thing.
now, hold on a second. Did they have to notice Huey was not jumping on them when they entered the house? Or did you have to say, oh, my God, Mom and Dad, I think Huey jumped the fence. I don't know where he
yeah.
is. Like, did you play it
No,
up or
no,
you waited for them to ask?
I waited for them to ask.
Which then I would have said you're suspicious.
Once you got the news that your dog had unfortunately passed on, did you ever tell your parents that the dog is dead, or did they just think he's just still missing?
No, well, so they called my dad because it was my dad's phone number on his tag. So they called my dad and told my dad. But my mom, she passed away a couple years ago. She died not knowing the truth. And my dad doesn't live. I know. My dad doesn't live close enough to Houston to be able to listen to 104.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of.
Well, we do stream.
Yeah, but he wouldn't know to
I
jump
don't
on the
think you
stream.
might not be streaming us.
Wow. Whoa. And they say what we did
know.
what we did to our parents comes back to us like tenfold when we were parents. So what are your kids gonna do?
oh gosh, I can only imagine.
Well, now we have cameras and stuff
Wow.
for.
Little
Not everybody's
Huey.
got the cameras out.
Did y'all
there,
ever
though.
get another dog, Ann, after Huey passed away, or that was it? Huey
We
was the last
did.
one.
No, we had two more dogs after that.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big one. Your dog died because you had a party,
And you
the
forgot and
dog
left the
got
gate
out,
open. Oh.
and the dog got hit
Now,
by a
Natalia,
car.
on line 1, she does something that Kevin has done many times
Oh.
Okay.
with the rafting, the tubing.
Oh. the
White
Brumfels.
water rafting or
Tubing where you go down the-
tubing
down
the
the river.
ditch. Tubing the river in New
Yeah.
Braunfels is so fun.
So if you're just tuning in, we're asking, what did you do on spring break that your parents still don't know about? Whether that happened just last week or like in Annie's case, it was 15 years ago. Natalia, welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Good morning.
What's the
Hey.
story with the tubing that's so controversial? What happened there?
So we were floating the Frio River. This was like SFA spring break about 6 or 7 years ago. And, long day of drinking, whatever. We all threw our stuff, like important phones, wallets, cash, keys to our cabin, in those zip up tubes so that things would be safe, while we're floating the river. And hours go by and we're like, okay, we're done floating. And our important tube with all the important things that we could ever need is no longer attached to us.
Oh, no.
Wait, nobody put it. Nobody changed it to their other tube or their.
Band
Well,
them
you
together.
usually-
I mean, we thought like, oh, I thought you tied. I thought you tied. I thought you tied.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
So
you bring
we're
little
like,
ropes and
crap.
tie everything
Your
up to your
tubes
tube.
together, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and your
Yeah.
stuff too. Uh-oh.
Yep. So we were like, crap, how do we get back to our cabin? Hours later, after we're like, hopefully this tube ends up in the right hands. One of my friends gets a call and they're like, "Hey, are you missing like 15 phones and 15 wallets?"
Oh, wow.
So in the middle of the night, we're like going to this random location where we have no idea. And
that's
get all
safe.
our
That
stuff
sounds
back.
safe.
And you got it, but you got it, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
it
It
anything?
didn't
That's
ransom
lucky.
so bad.
They didn't ransom
They
that
could've been
stuff
bad.
for you? Like you really wanted?
No,
How
it
much
was
is
the
it worth to
moving
you?
company that turned. Yeah,
Oh, it was
it
the
was.
company-
It was
This
scary.
is the company that did the rafting.
Oh, so they're legit.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there any
Nice.
money missing?
No, everything was in there. They didn't even take it out of the tube. They were like, "Is this your tube?" And we were like, "Yep."
Now, why
that's
would you
all
never
of
want to tell your
ours."
parents? You're
Yeah.
just afraid they'd show you're irresponsible?
Yeah, no, I would never. She'd be like, "Why are you going on trips like this? This is why things happen."
That's
so,
true. Some
yeah,
moms
never.
would throw that
You don't
in
want to
your
be
face.
scolded.
Yeah, why would you ever
Yeah.
tell her?
I would just probably be like, "Oh my God, this is what I was my biggest nightmare. You're so lucky you got it back. You know what could have happened, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah."
Some
Yep.
people just want to keep things in the vault. Like, I never told my parents what we did on spring break. You know, why would you?
It's
Some
true.
people just don't feel like sharing everything with your
But
folks.
some people are
Natalia,
really close.
thank you so much for calling, and you are very lucky that you were not ransomed for that stuff, or that it
Yeah.
didn't actually disappear or get stolen. Another Ann is on the line at 713-390-KRBE. We're asking the question, what happened on your spring break that you never told your parents about? Hi, Ann. Good morning.
Maybe that wasn't her name. I'm sorry. What's your name?
It's Diane.
Hey,
It's
Diane.
It's Diane, not Ann.
Diane.
Okay.
So-
I didn't know if you were talking to me or not.
Yeah,
so.
we are. So fill us in.
Diane. Okay,
What happened on
Diane,
spring
tell
break?
us.
Or like the text is Diane for your poor dog. People are mad. so-
Diane.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Diane, tell
No,
us.
it's fine. It's fine. My parents were out of town, spring break. Had some friends over, and I'd always wanted to crawl out my window onto our roof, the garage roof.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hell
So I climbed out. We all climbed out. We were all sitting there, dangling our feet, and one of my friends dared me to jump off.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm one of those people that, oh my God, don't dare me to do something because I'm going to do it.
What was below a pool?
And I jumped
Was there
off.
What was under you? A trampoline?
anything cool?
Anything?
Oh, no, the ground.
Oh, God.
Oh,
So how many
God.
bones did you break?
So what happened? You jump
Yeah.
off the roof.
I jumped off the roof and sprained my ankle, and it swelled up so big. It was so big.
Oh, God. It makes me
You have to go to the doctor?
I probably should have, but no, I didn't want my parents to find out.
Oh,
So
Yeah, because
I
how
couldn't
could
go
she
to the
go?
doctor.
How old were
My
you?
sister, 15, I think.
Oh, my
Do you
God.
still have a limp?
You're going to have bolts
No,
in your
but
ankle
my
like
ankle
me 8
swells
years
all the-
later?
No, my ankle swells all the time now.
Now, what did your
So,
parents say?
same one.
Like they had to notice you had a huge elephant type sized leg.
Like you're,
No, I covered it up pretty well.
No,
They never
no limp,
found out.
nothing.
Well, this
They
wasn't
never
during
found
the
out.
Fall Out Boy era with skinny jeans. There's no way you could pull this off.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so how many
This
years
was
ago?
A long time ago. Like, this is over 40 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
That's really unbelievable that still it swells. It just proves that when you hurt your ankle, it will always come back to bite you.
But what is it when you're like 15? I used to do that too, like 15,
feel
17. I'd go out
invincible.
in my garage and have a smoke just to try and be cool with our
Yeah.
friends. We'd put music with
I know.
speakers.
What?
Yeah.
You had a smoke?
I don't
I can't
know.
see you
We just
smoking.
decided to take cheese balls out there, and we were like throwing them down the gutter to see if they'd come out. And,
Dumb
and
things
we
you
didn't
do,
know
yeah.
that they were coming out, so that's why my friends dared me instead of going through the house and everything, going outside.
that the one
So
with the
they
can
said,
that-
just jump off the roof. We'll know faster.
Jump off the
There's
roof.
the cheese balls with that can.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
the canned.
the big
like the
giant
planters.
can.
Yeah, they're harder.
Yes.
They
What
came back
the
a few
heck?
years ago.
Now,
remember?
Diane, most people who want to jump off something on spring break think that they're going to land on something soft, but you like look at concrete and said, that's a great idea.
No, it wasn't concrete. It was just grass.
Right.
I mean,
So
I
it's
thought,
grass.
well, how hard can it be, really?
Well, now
They
you're
wouldn't
don't
dare
feel
me
bad.
to do
Later and you're
something
limping.
that's gonna
I
hurt
can
me.
guarantee, I know I did that, and I know Eric did that.
No, I was not stupid.
You never jumped off the roof?
No offense. I'm not trying to say.
No, I jumped off the roof. Don't feel bad.
I guess we
Well,
jumped
thanks
off
for
like
sharing,
hay-
Diane.
hay
You have a
bales.
great day. Listen, when I was going to SMU my freshman year, I didn't know that spring break was for fun things like that because I was an immigrant kid that just, when we had spring break, it's like, oh, you get to sleep
You
in
watch
and maybe you
movies?
might work. And when I came back from to school, there was a girl that lived on my floor and she was she was in a wheelchair because both of her legs, she had the cuff crutches when she could walk. Both of her knees, I want to say they were broken, but how could she have been on the cuff crutches if they were
shattered?
broken? Because on her spring break, she thought it was a good idea to jump from the third floor balcony into the second floor balcony, and she missed. We're surprised she even was alive. And I remember her name was Brooke. Whatever happened to Brooke? and Rachel.
That's crazy.
Is
What happened to those girls, Brooke and Rachel,
that was
that
the
lived in
height of
McGinnis Hall?
MTV
when they
Spring
did the
Breakout.
spring break stuff. I bet.
Yeah, that was all really big MTV Spring
Does
Break
MTV
time.
even do spring break
No,
stuff?
and I remember watching that as a kid. Like, I can't wait to go. MTV, BET, they did their
Yeah.
whole spring break
Yeah.
thing.
All the
it
beaches.
was gone by
Well,
the time I was old enough.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
have Eric Nies for the grind.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. That's the
when
first
Kevin
time I
felt
fell
in
in
his
love.
loins.
That was Kevin's spring breaks at home.
Sit
His bedroom
down.
locked.
Kevin's like, why is
Sit
this
and
so
watch the
tingly? Why am I tingling?